Hello everybody. Dear Alan sent me this on Facebook and I said I was going to copy a bit of it. I'd like to copy all of it, but obviously it's not my video. Someone else has put it out. It's a very good video. I like what this person is saying because we have no idea. Oh, sorry, I'm eating some crisps. We've got no idea that it's a minefield. Anyway, let's watch this part of the video. Nick Hill put this out. Well, now I actually know it's on Facebook, might copy a bit more.
Who the Supreme Court says has no obligation to protect you. No, it's not their duty. It is not the police officer's duty to protect you. Their job title is a policy revenue collection agent. They're to help fund the counties and the cities and the state. They presume you're a citizen, a person, or resident. Your status. This is called status. Anybody know what status is? Did you know there was more than one? Jeez, they just didn't want you to know this crap, do they? See, in Title 8, Section 1101 of the United States Code, it says definitions of statuses. These are the definitions of status that the United States government accepts, right? You can be a U.S. citizen or a U.S. national or a state citizen or a state national or a variety of other things that they accept. But what are you taught? Just to be the one that they have control over. Isn't that crazy? It is status. They presume your status. This government works off of unrebutted presumption. Unrebutted presumption. They steal your house by making a lot of clerical errors and you don't correct them and you acquiesce. You just pay the bills and you don't correct those errors. And they stole it from you on behalf of the state. They steal your car when you go to the dealership and buy one by making a statement with the clerical errors that you fill out, you sign, you consent to, and then they stole your car. And you didn't even know it. You come home, you tell your family, look at my new car! Smell good? Got that new car smell? So nice? It's the states. You don't have the MSO or the MCO. Now, they assume you did something wrong. You did 70 and a 55. Doesn't matter what it is. They assume you did something wrong. They get your tacit agreement of you being a citizen, a person, or resident. And then they get up on stand and they lie. And your attorney sits there and says, shh, don't say anything. We'll get our chance later. And then the hammer gets dropped and every lie that they said became truth and fact upon the record. You acquiesce to it. And your attorney knew that. He knows he's supposed to object to everything they say. And he sat there and he was quiet. And he told you not to speak because you can't. They can't hear you anyway. You know a judge can't hear you in court? No, they summons you into court. What is the summons? It's a seance. They're wearing black robes. This is satanic ritual. They summon you into court, a seance, calling the dead into court. And there's two ways for you to appear in court. There's only two. It's in the law. There's general appearance. That's where you just show up generally and you accept jurisdiction by just showing up. And get your tacit agreement. If you've been a citizen, person, or resident, you just show up. They call the dead into court and there you are. They call out your all caps name and you don't say, no, that's not me, Your Honor. It's my vessel. I take ownership of that vessel. I claim the minor estate. You don't say any of that. First words out of your mouth in a courtroom should be what? Okay, I'm sitting down in the back row. Judge walks in. Bailiff says, all rise. I lean back on my chair and I put my feet up. I sure ain't going to stand when he walks in. That's giving him jurisdiction. When an employee walks into the room, does this boss stand? No. He's my public servant. I have to take control of the court immediately. If you stand, you're the employee, he's the boss. He's getting your tacit agreement. You're turning over jurisdiction to him. Were you in Logan at Cody's deal where we had about 60 people there? Okay, we had about 60 people in Cody Smith's court case in Logan, Utah. And I met with everybody before we went. And I told them, not only do not stand when the judge walks in, but I want you to make a concerted effort to lean back and put your feet up. And they did. There was only one reporter on the other side that stood up. Nobody else did. And then in one voice, when they started running over the top of Cody, we all said, let him speak, in one voice. And Cody got to speak. The entire court changed. What I tell people is, rally the troops, get them in there on your behalf. If you can get at least 25 people in the audience doing what I'm just telling you to do, when you stand up there, say, I'm here by special divine appearance, Your Honor, to call for a constitutional court of record, and I brought a grand jury with me.
Of my peers.
What is the definition of peers?
Like-minded individuals.
No, here's one that's really got screwed up by our bar association. When you call for a jury trial or a trial by jury, what's the difference? Do you guys know? Always call for a trial by jury. Why call for a trial by jury? Yeah, but the trial by jury, the jury decides your fate. A jury trial, the judge can override the jury's decision and do whatever he wants. And they will try and force you into a jury trial. They will. Now, here's a definition twist on the word peers. The definition of the word peers is someone from your own neighborhood who knows your character and your situation in life. For only then can you truly judge a man. What do they get? They question the jury because they don't want anybody that even knows you. They want people from other counties, other areas of the state. They want to rig the trial to railroad you. To railroad is to lead somebody down a narrow path or rail to a predetermined outlook or conclusion, and that's the path. Not making any sense yet? No, the fraud in which we perceive, right? It's ridiculous. And when you stand up from that back row, when they call your name, the very first words out of your mouth when you stand up and you take your first step is, I'm here by special divine appearance, Judge, to settle this matter, to call for a constitutional court of record, to ask for a summary judgment upon the truth and facts placed upon this record by my documents. And I stand firmly upon my rights. Can I get that summary judgment, Your Honor? This thing is over with. They have to do a summary judgment. The rule of three. Rule of three applies in all things. Celestial, terrestrial, and telestial, right? The rule of three. You have to ask them 3 times. And if they have an important question, they're supposed to ask you 3 times. And if not, you can say, what did you say again? See. How does a judge derive their authority? Since you brought it up. Number 1, from his oath of office, right? And any other requirements by the state to hold office. His oath and any other requirements by the state to hold office. That's how he derives his authority. Second, he derives his authority by statute. What did I say a minute ago? It's the worst looking E I've ever seen in my life. The rules, codes, statutes, and ordinances are not law. Third, he derives his authority through parens patriae. See, my first 3 questions, the very first document I submit, if we have to go to court, is a notice of appearance. A notice of appearance. I'm going to say, hey, I received this seance in the mail where you're calling the dead entity into court, and I'm willing to appear to settle this. I'm going to do it by special divine appearance. As a living soul. See, what does Genesis 2:7 say? Bible scholars in this room, I see that. Genesis 2:7 says, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, it's just kind of fun. But, and I, God, created man from the dust of the earth, and I breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Are we men or are we living souls? We're living souls. Our bodies are made up of what? The dust of the earth, and they're held together by energy. The energy of our soul. The celestial, telestial, and terrestrial souls. Which, by the way, they're here helping us right now in a big way.
Any business they have of you is with your vessel, but when you're showing up by your divine.
Exactly. I'm just here to settle this matter as the executor to the trust.
So therefore, it's not really here.
Yeah.
That vessel that they can arrest and do all these things to, if it was
Well,
there.
what I'm doing is breaking through their veil. They're not allowed to even talk to me as a man. They're not even allowed to talk to me. I'm going to break through their veil and educate them.
Create that barrier that because if you did something as the vessel, now you are that ward of the court. You now, if the sheriff takes you away, you're in that system.
What did I say? Genesis 1:26 through 28. God gave me, man, dominion over the land, the air, and the water, and this is law. I'm going to show you how to take dominion this weekend. And when you take dominion over all three jurisdictions, you are free. If you jump out of one into another with both feet, they'll destroy you in the other two. All these wonderful patriot groups out there, I love them. But they're trying to jump out of two jurisdictions into one. And they go to jail over and over again. I watched them do it for 35 years, and then I watched the people behind them not stand up for them when they get there. And I can show you how to be free, so you never get into that position. Okay? That's probably a good time. So I formed 3 questions out of this to the judge in my notice of a special appearance. I say, Judge, or Your Honor, do you claim to derive your authority over me based upon your oath of office and any other requirement of the state? Yes or no? May I have a copy of those to make sure that they're up to date and current before I arrive into court? Because if he doesn't have his current oath on file the way he's supposed to, and they seldom do, case dismissed. Judge, do you claim to derive your authority over me based upon statute? Yes or no? I'm setting him up. I'm pinning him in a corner. Because he's going to answer yes. Of course I do. Great. And where's my paycheck stubs? Where's my company car? Where's my 401k? You're claiming I'm an employee of the state? Of the county? Of the city? Where's my paycheck stubs? I think you owe me a bunch. How much do you make? How much do these state employees get paid for driving a car around? Paid for by the state. I'm not at war. See, that's another thing. What is a warrant? It's a warrant. What is a warrant? It's a warrant. It's a declaration of war. They're declaring war upon you. I'm at peace. On my house, I fly the civil flag of peace. I walk into the courtroom with the flag of peace on my document. They can't declare war on me when I'm at peace. They can't hold me for contempt when I'm at peace. This is just a discussion. And they can't out-debate me.
The physical flag that you have?
Yeah. Gosh, you all think we have one flag in this country? We have lots of flags. The red, white, and blue that you all see is our war flag. We have a peace flag too. And it's red and white vertical stripes with a white background with blue stars. Look at the United States Coast Guard's flag. It's a civil flag of peace because they were developed as a civil organization, and then they put their logo in the middle of it, and they called it the Coast Guard flag. But it's on a civil flag of peace. For 3 years in this country was at peace, and we flew the civil flag over all of our commerce buildings in our capitals. 3 years.
When